Hi, this is Tom Soane, and I've seen a question from Scott, who's currently doing a refurbishment at a property, and part of that refurbishment is a complete rewire of the whole house. And Scott has asked, is there anything additional that I could do during the rewire, during the refurbishment, that will improve my property investment? Well, there definitely is. And Scott has also linked that question with a very common question about hardwiring or not hardwiring, smoke alarms, fire alarms, heat alarms, etc. So I've got 3 recommendations for you, Scott, and I wanted to share that with everybody else as well, especially for property investors, whether you're thinking about investing in a property and refurbishing a property, or maybe you're a veteran investor and this might help you with your next project. And also for landlords, if you're thinking about upgrading or refurbishing your property, then these 3 recommendations will be good for you as well. So my first recommendation when it comes to refurbishing and rewiring a property investment is to use radial circuits for each individual appliance in the kitchen, as opposed to a ring circuit for a group of appliances in the kitchen. So in a nutshell, a radial circuit is basically an individual circuit that you will use for each appliance that will then link that appliance directly to the distribution board. Whereas a ring circuit will be a group of appliances linked to that ring circuit that then links to the distribution board from there. Now, the reason you would do that is actually to save yourself some cost and time and hassle and stress down the line, because it makes it easier to identify very quickly where an electrical problem is. An electrician will cost you quite a bit of money to identify the problem, because they have to go through a process of elimination in order to identify the problem. It's not like a plumber where you can see where the leak is coming from. With electrics, you have to go through a process of elimination to find out where the fault is. And that can take a lot of time, and you have to pay for that. And you normally pay per hour or per day. So this will save you some cost when it comes to any electrical problems down the line with your kitchen. The second recommendation that I would make while you're doing a refurbishment and a rewire of a property is to hardwire the smoke alarm, the heat alarm, the fire alarm into your electric installation. That will save you a lot of time and hassle later down the line, because I do believe that we're soon going to have all fire alarm equipment hardwired into the houses or the property's electrics. So this will save you a bit of effort down the line, I would expect, but it also protects your tenant as well. So you're not relying on battery operated equipment. It will help your tenant, it will protect your tenant, and it also protects your property as well, Mr. and Mrs. Landlord and Mr. and Mrs. Property Investor. The third recommendation I would make when it comes to refurbishing a property and getting it ready for renting is have a heat alarm in the kitchen and smoke alarms everywhere else. The reason for that is that there's nothing more infuriating than when you're making a piece of toast and the smoke alarm goes off. It's absolutely infuriating. So install a heat alarm in the kitchen and smoke alarms everywhere else. And also on that point, you need to have a smoke alarm for every single floor that is being used as accommodation. That's the bare minimum. However, I would probably recommend have a heat alarm in the kitchen, a smoke alarm on every floor of accommodation, and I would also add a smoke alarm in each used bedroom. You don't have to do that, but remember the goal here. It's to protect your property and to protect your tenant. So the faster that a fire can be detected, the faster action can be taken, and that will then protect your property. So I hope that helps. There are 3 recommendations there. Number 1, use radial circuits rather than ring circuits in the kitchen. Number 2, get a heat alarm, smoke alarm hardwired into the property's electrical installation. And number 3, definitely have a heat alarm in the kitchen and smoke alarms everywhere else. By the way, I'm talking from personal experience. When I rented a property, there was a smoke alarm in the kitchen and it used to drive me crazy. I would turn the grill on and then within 1 minute, the smoke alarm goes off. It drives me crazy. Hey, I've got tons and tons of tips when it comes to refurbishments, enhancements, improvements, things like that. So if you want to have a chat about your property investment, your refurbishment, then give me a shout. You can email me. It's tom@pinkstreet.co.uk. Or if you want to get into property investment, but you need to find an off-market, below market value property deal, then I'm your man. Give me an email, give me a message through my Facebook page, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where all the good stuff is. And I will help you out as best I can. I hope that helps. Speak to you all later.